Hey, what's up, everybody? JayC here with another live stream this Sunday evening. Hopefully, all you guys had a good weekend. I'm pretty tired. I started the day. I did a 7 mile run with my dog Logan, which it's been a while since I've done that long of a run. So a little bit tired, but definitely excited to be here with you guys tonight. And let's see who is in the house. Jack is in the house, as well as Chris and Bean. Jeff, what's up, guys? So sorry I missed last weekend. I know the live streams have been a little sporadic lately, but part of it's just, when there's not much to talk about, it just, I'm not sure there's really a reason to do a live stream at least every single week. And there's so many people that are doing live streams these days. It's probably hard for you guys to keep up with everybody. But definitely wanted to do one today. Um, just to kind of catch up on things. And I got some boxes that have come in. Not my Sentinel, my Haslab Sentinel has not yet arrived. Hasn't even actually shipped out as far as I can tell, which is disappointing, but hopefully it will ship out soon. It's actually my birthday this coming week on Thursday, so I'm hoping maybe it'll arrive by then, though I'm not holding my breath on that. Uh, let's see. Dew is in the house. Jerry, Kaz, Joseph, Steve. What's up? Blake is in the house. Long time no see Blake. And I think this is the first time Blake has been on since we had the trivia contest several weeks ago, where we gave away the Haslab Galactus, which in large part was due to Blake and his contribution. So if you haven't had a chance, especially the winner, if you haven't had a chance, say thanks to Blake. He's on here tonight. Big thanks from me, of course, for the contribution. Aaron's in the house from Australia. What time is it in Australia? Bean says his Sentinel is in label limbo. Yeah, I kind of feel like my Sentinel is just sitting in some warehouse somewhere. It's like it's literally the last. I just have this feeling that my name is literally the last name on the list. It's like, okay, I think we got everybody's Sentinel out. Okay, let's go on and ship JC's Sentinel out to him. Chris says, I hope Galactus has a ratchet joint in the knees and hips. And so I still haven't, I don't have a good feel for the problem on the Sentinel and whether it's really that major of a deal. I know some people had the loose knees, but, it seemed like all you need to do is tighten it with a screw. But then, of course, how long does that last? If you start bending the knee a lot, is that screw going to just get loose again? Could you even strip the screw if you're not careful? So and of course, until I really get mine in hand and kind of get to see it for myself, it's hard to really say. But I've seen some people like, oh my God, how did Hasbro do that? And I kind of agree with that. I mean, even if it is just the screw, and that fixes it, and there's no other problems, then I do feel like, I mean, if you're just going to put it on your shelf and display it, then that should fix it. I don't see the screw getting loose while it's just sitting on your shelf. But again, if you're going to start posing it around and stuff and using that joint a lot, then I could see, even after you've tightened it with a screwdriver, I could see it getting loose again. But um, yeah, in a perfect world, definitely that's something that probably never should have happened. Um, I've seen some people like, well, when's Hasbro going to address it? And my guess is they're probably not really going to address it. I mean, maybe if they do interviews, somebody might ask them about it, but then you're probably just going to get a corporate answer to it. I mean, at this point, there's not a whole lot that they're, what are they going to do? Oh yeah, we screwed up. I mean, they might say that, but I don't know. So I think we're stuck with it. I mean, with the Galactus, if you're really disappointed in the Sentinel and you head back to Galactus, I mean, you have 30 days to cancel your Galactus order. I noticed that in the Hasbro email that they sent out this week, saying that Galactus was moving into production. So, you can always cancel your Galactus if you really think the Sentinel is that big of a problem. And I would imagine, I mean, I won't say this 100%, but if you if like you were having just serious issues with your Sentinel and you wanted to return it, and you were like, this is a defective product, and you contacted Hasbro's customer service, I find it hard to believe that they wouldn't let you return it and refund your money if that were the case. I mean, if it's really their fault, then, I feel like that's something that if you really press the issue, they would probably do. But I'm also curious how many people are going to return their Sentinel for that reason alone. I know people were upset about the changes they made to the Unicron figure. I mean, I agree that the production images of Unicron, those areas that they changed looked a little better, but I'm still pretty happy with my Unicron. I have no intention of returning my Unicron because they made some changes to the production, the final release from the production sample, which happens all the time with action figures. Now I know people are like, oh, well, this is a crowdsourcing thing, and that they shouldn't do that. And again, in a perfect world, I would agree, but I don't know. At the end of the day, we'll see if how much of an impact this has on the next Haslab, Marvel Legend campaign. Will it blow out of the water the Galactus? I mean, right now Galactus is the top selling Haslab campaign. So, if people are really upset, the best way they can speak is with their wallet and not back the next item, whatever they do next year. But that's my thoughts on the situation, I guess, is to put, because I've seen people talking, I've seen people make videos, of course, trying to ram Hasbro, and I'm just like, I don't know, because I don't have my Sentinel, so I really don't know how big of a problem that knee is. Um, so, and really, until I get my knee, until I get my Sentinel, that's I'm kind of keeping an open mind. What's up, Wolfpack Toy Review? Chris says, my Titan class Scorpionox has a ratchet joint in the knees. It's very solid. No reason something like the Sentinel shouldn't. I would probably agree with you. Will Hasbro ever tell us why they didn't do the ratchet joint in the knee of the Sentinel? I don't know. Probably not. Will anyone ask them? Maybe. They might beat around the bush and kind of try and, hey, by the way, there was a ratchet joint missing in the Sentinel. But is anyone really going to press Hasbro on it? Probably not. I know I won't even get the opportunity to ask them, so they don't really talk to me anymore. So don't look for me to ask them that question, because Jerry says, we're too young for a knee replacement. Speak for yourself, young lad. As I said, it's my birthday this week, and I went out, I was motivated to go out and run 7 miles this morning. 7 miles used to be a short run for me. For those of you not familiar, I used to do triathlons. I used to do Ironman triathlons. This hat is not for the Ironman comic character. It's the Ironman triathlon. So I've done like over 4 Ironman triathlons, and so like a 7 mile run was a short run for me back in the day, and we're talking 3, 4, 5 years ago. But these days 3 miles is usually about as long as I run, and so I decided to do 7 miles today, and definitely feeling it a little bit. Blake, man, thank you, brother. Once again, your generosity seems to have no bounds. Appreciate it. Bean says if they interview Boog, uh, he'll ask. Yeah, I agree with you. He usually will try it. He'll at least ask. Now he doesn't necessarily press. Well, sometimes he does. But I also get, when you watch him interview them, you can kind of tell like, oh God, it's him again. So they definitely don't seem to like to be asked the hard questions. And I think this is a little pet peeve of mine, but I feel like if you feel like ask if you're going to interview any, and this goes for anybody, you can ask a hard question and you can ask it point blank. You don't have to beat around the bush. You don't have to be an asshole about it. You don't have to like attack them. But I don't think there's anything wrong if you're going to do interviews. If they're going to go out and do interviews with people, I think it's reasonable to be able to ask them hard questions, and actually ask them. Sometimes people try and like, seem to be beat around the bush to try and kind of ask them the question, but then don't really press it in any way, and that just annoys me. I mean, of course, again, they're not doing interviews with me, so that might be why. I don't know, but it just, when I see that, it kind of annoys me. So I understand that a lot of the guys doing those interviews are just big fans. They're not like journalists. They're and they don't want to risk damaging their relationship with Hasbro, and I understand that. But I just, sometimes it's like, ask the question. If they don't answer it, fine. You can't make them answer a question. If they say no comment or we can't answer that or what have you, that's fine. But I feel like you as the interviewer should be asking the question, get it out there on the record. So, if they decline to answer it, that's on them. But you've done your job and you've asked the question. That's just kind of how I see it. Leo says it's his birthday, just passed. Yeah, Blake, when are you going up on the space shuttle? Are you on the next space shuttle flight for civilians? Seriously, though, Blake is like my most generous viewer. Awesome. I don't know how he does it, but he's super awesome. Obviously I don't expect anyone to make any donation, but Blake, $2 donation to me, I'm wowed when somebody makes a $2 donation, but Blake, super awesome. Elon Tarpley. All right, so I got some stuff to open. Not my Sentinel, of course, but a couple packages that have arrived recently. This one actually arrived a couple weeks ago. I just have not gotten around to opening it. And this is from NECA. So, latest round of turtle figures. Mondo Gecko and Muckman. Now, I ordered these off of the NECA website because up until recently, my Target never had carried any of the turtle stuff, or at least it never was there long enough for me to ever get my hands on it. I have noticed the last 2 times I've gone into my local Targets that these figures have actually been sitting there. So I feel like part of it is obviously these are not as well-known characters as some of the others, so that might play a part in it. But I also feel like the fact that NECA has just been offering these online to folks, that's kind of like taking the winds out of the scalpers on many of these. I also got the Chrome Dome back there, which I again ordered off of NECA's website, but I saw that yesterday when I went to Target. So Some of these figures are starting seemingly, maybe Target or maybe NECA is just getting these out in greater numbers as well. But I'm almost caught up on all my turtle figures. I don't remember if the second batch of, we got the first two frogs and I have those. I don't remember if the second two frogs have come out or not. I haven't seen them. So I don't have those if they have come out. And then I'm still waiting from NECA to send me my Rat King 2-pack, which is on indefinite delay. I think it might not be here till next year now, but I have that. I never saw that one in the store, and so I pre-ordered it on NECA's website. So that's the main one I'm waiting for right now. Oh snap! Will you be doing a review of these? I might. I am. I've got my next review is going to be probably going up tomorrow, either tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm going to be reviewing the new Masters of the Universe Origins Mosquitor figure, which you can see back there. I grabbed the Battle Cat and the He-Man 2-pack, the Target exclusive 2-pack. So I got that one. I might review. I've just got my Scareglow figure, the Masterverse Scareglow figure from Mattel that arrived this week, and then I managed to grab Faker, the Masterverse Faker figure off of Target's website the other day. However, I also saw Faker on the shelf at my local Target yesterday. I didn't pick it up because I knew it was coming in the mail, but I saw Faker on the shelf yesterday as well. So maybe some Masters of the Universe stuff coming, reviews. I might do some turtle stuff. With the turtle stuff, I feel like there's so many reviews of these already out there. It's just like, I did that review the other day of the NECA, the boys Homelander figure, and I mean that one hasn't even broken 1,000 views yet. And I love doing reviews, but it gets a little discouraging when nobody watches them. And I can understand, if it's a figure that's been out a long time. I'm not super entertaining, even though I have been trying to liven it up a little bit with some skits at the beginning, but I'm not super entertaining. And if it's a figure that's been out for a while and there's a ton of reviews, I understand, people don't really have a need to go watch another review of something like that. But whenever a video gets less than 1,000 views, I've got over 50,000 subscribers. I always feel like, okay, well, that's a message in its own right that people just are not interested. So, but I might do a review of one of these turtle figures. Another element of it is just time. Like, I'm doing news videos. I'm doing news on the sites, and just trying to fit everything in gets to be a little overbearing at times. Jerry says, I saw Fisto from TNI. I prefer the Master of the Universe Classic one. Oh, you're talking about the Masterverse one? Yeah, I mean, I don't have. Yeah, I don't have. I don't have the Classics Fisto. I probably will pick up the Masterverse one. Um, I've been digging the Masterverse figure, so honestly, I did not. I like the Classic line. I think it was a really solid line, and I have some classic figures, but when that line started and it was essentially a Matty Collector exclusive line, and all the issues with Matty Collector, it turned me off to Masters of the Universe Classic. So I picked up a few here and there, but I did not collect the classic stuff on any kind of regular basis. Awesome line. I wish it had been more readily available, but I just Matty Collector back then just really kind of turned me off on He-Man stuff. So I had been collecting the 2000X stuff, which was a mass retail line. I have most of those figures. They're packed away now mostly, but I have most of those figures. And then I got, like I said, I had a few of the classics. I got He-Man, I got Skeletor, I've got a few others of my more favorite characters, but I just did not collect that line in any regular basis. But I am collecting Masterverse. I'm collecting Origins pretty regularly. So um, I don't think I'm going to collect. I won't swear to it, but I don't think I'm going to collect the new Masters of the Universe, He-Man, the Masters of the Universe Netflix stuff. However, I will tell you, I really like that series that aired this week on Netflix. I was really impressed with the first season. I'm not a huge, the designs overall, are not my favorite, but He-Man looks like a big lumbering oaf when you watch him move around and stuff, but I really like the story, and I even like the voice actors and such. So I'm kind of hooked on it. I don't know if I'm hooked on it enough to get the toys, because the toys are very kid friendly, and and again, the designs themselves have not super wowed me. But I'm definitely watching the show. I'm gonna watch. I'm assuming there's going to be a second season, since they essentially left it on a cliffhanger. There's been no announcement on a second season, but I'm going to assume there's going to be a second season coming for that series, and I definitely plan on tuning in. But I was surprised. I was like, I went into it, I was just like, I'm going to check it out, but this is geared for the kids. It's probably going to be dumbed down. It's not going to be that interesting. The designs to me don't look great. So I'm going to check out an episode, and then probably move on. But then I started watching it, and I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. And it is very different from anything previously, though I feel like they did take some elements from obviously there's some certain things. Prince Adam is He-Man, Castle Grayskull, things like that, the Power Sword, but they changed a lot of things around. It's very different from anything that we'd previously seen. Some elements I feel like they did actually pick up from the 2000X series, like with Keldor, and they made references to the Snake Men. um, so I'm sure we'll be seeing King Hiss and those folks at some point in the series. So, but I thought it was really good, and even like Skeletor literally like sucking out the life energy of people, or not Skeletor. Sorry, I guess it's a little spoiler, but minor spoiler here. But Skeletor in one of the scenes is like Keldor. Is actually starts out as Keldor again, kind of similar to the 2000X series, and he's literally sucking the life energy out of people so that he can maintain his human form. And I mean, that's kind of you know that's a little above and beyond what you generally see from a kids show. So uh, I was definitely, again, pretty impressed with the overall story. They allude to do Masterverse figures from this. Yeah, so I probably will not. I may check out one or two of the figures from the kids line, but yeah, during PowerCon last weekend, they said that they were going to do Masterverse figures from this series. So those I will probably be a little more interested in checking out. Um, but we'll just have to see, what those look like when they actually get around to showing them. Could the Horde appear? I would imagine they could. I don't think they really made any specific references to Hordak, but I definitely feel like that could happen. I work with. I like Cringer in this series. You know, Cringer wasn't the cowering kitty that we generally see. So I actually liked how they portrayed Cringer in this series. So I even like Ram Man, they made a female, but it doesn't bother me too much calling her Ram Mam. Um, and the style is definitely kid oriented. Everybody has their own kind of signature move now. They all kind of transform into powered up versions and stuff, so you can definitely tell that they're kind of going for that video game aspect. um, Trying to get to the kids, but I'm good with that, because for any line to really have any longevity, it does have to bring new blood into it. It can't survive on nostalgia alone forever. So if they're successful in bringing new audiences into liking He-Man with this show, I think that's great. Gotcha, Gray. Skeletor's awesome. A bit like the Joker in the. I agree. I like Skeletor, but I kind of got that impression too. It was almost like the actor doing Skeletor in this series was trying to copy Mark Hamill's Skeletor from Revelation, and at times it almost sounded like Mark Hamill. So, but overall, I thought he did pretty good. Some light moments, some one-liners, they threw in, which I didn't have a problem with. So, even kind of making fun of themselves and like their names. Oh, you're calling yourselves He-Man, really? So I thought, like I said, I was very impressed with the series overall. That's a good question. She was not in the series, and they have not mentioned that, so I don't know. Well, I'm sure we'll learn that information eventually, but yeah, we don't know. And I like King Randor in this series. They kind of put him out there as a bit of an asshole, but again, kind of a different take. And I will say, as it starts out, he's kind of presented as an asshole. I don't think he's really an asshole, but that's kind of how they presented it. I did not see Whiplash, so no, not yet. But we're only into season one. Main characters that we saw were the ones that we've seen the toys for. So He-Man, Skeletor, Evelyn, Trapjaw, Beastman. Uh, on the bad guy side, and then on the good guys side, Tila, Adam slash He-Man, Ram Man, Orko, who is a robot now, but they give you kind of a good explanation why he's a robot. Duncan slash Man at Arms, uh, and Randor, and then they like this new character. That's a general. Seems like he's gonna appear more regularly, but he's not like a. I don't think he's ever been in Masters before. Uh, I think that's it for pretty much main characters and Battle Cat slash Cringer. So yeah, I think that was pretty much it. And like each character, we start out seeing them not as like Evelyn, but we see Evelyn. We don't see Trap. We don't start out with Trapjaw being Trapjaw. He starts out being Cronus. Skeletor starts out as Keldor. Uh, so we definitely get origins with pretty much all these characters. Watched a little bit of that game. I saw Philadelphia got beat. I'm a Washington fan, so my game was on Thursday night, where thanks to New York giving us the win, we managed to win. Big Boy says, I found the Marvel Legends Monster Venom Build-A-Figure at a flea market for $10. Nice find. The Wolfpack toy review. Yeah. I mean, sadly, the NFC East is not that great of a division these days. So, um, I think right before this live stream went on, I it looked like Dallas was tied with the Chargers. So I don't know if Dallas is going to pull out a win tonight, or if they did pull out a win. What's up, man? Keelil Vigil. Sorry if I butchered the name there. Chris, just saw the Titans beat the Seahawks. No, I didn't. I have not. My it hasn't even shipped yet. So I keep checking. Or I mean, I'll get an email when it actually ships. I'll probably get an email from Hasbro, and I'll get an email from FedEx. But right now, it just seems to be sitting someplace. But hasn't even. FedEx hasn't even started to ship it. So there's a tracking number, but no movement on it as of yet. Season 3 of Doom Patrol starts this coming Thursday. That's one I still have to catch up on. I've been watching the new season of Titans, which I thought has been okay. I don't. I don't know. So far, it's kind of been not really a set direction, so I don't know how it's going to end. What are my thoughts so far about the Sentinel as far as other YouTubers got theirs? As in what? I mean, I know more than just YouTubers have gotten them, so I don't think YouTubers are getting any kind of special treatment if that's what you mean. Um, but I mean, I every day I see somebody new has gotten their Sentinel and they're taking pictures and stuff, and I'm just sitting here going, oh, it might ship one day. As far as reviews, I've only watched a couple of reviews, so I mean, the big issue seems to be with some people having the loose knee. I saw Robo's video where he showed how to fix it with the screwdriver, which seemed pretty easy. Again, doesn't appear to have any kind of ratcheting joints in the knees. So the question is how, even after you've tightened the screw, how tight will it stay? Will it loosen over time? I don't know. I still over everything I've seen from the Sentinel, other than the knee issue, which until I really get it in hand, it's hard for me to say how big of an issue that is. But everything else I've seen with the Sentinel, it looks really sweet to me. The paint apps look really nice on it, the multiple heads and everything. So, I'm just eagerly awaiting its arrival. But I have no idea when mine's actually going to show up. Lord Vengar. Are the new retro Spider-Man figs exclusive to anyone? I haven't seen them up for pre-order at Target. Just wondering why. I don't. They. I don't think they're exclusives to anybody. I haven't checked Target. Amazon had them up, but I think it's probably more just whoever wants to carry them. But as far as I know of, they're not exclusives. What do I think of the two videos trashing Haslab as a whole? I'm not exactly sure what two videos you're referring to. I watched one video where somebody was trashing Haslab. This is my not to get it. I'm not going to attack some other YouTuber and their thoughts and tell you that what someone else thinks is wrong. I will tell you my own view on Haslab. If Haslab the whole crowdsourcing thing to me is more of a marketing thing in my opinion. But as far as Haslab goes, getting those big pricey items out to folks, that is probably the only way it would happen. Mainly because if you understand the toy market, places like Target and Walmart, which are the two left to carry something like that, are not. Everything I've seen about the industry says that they would not be interested in carrying large priced items that take up a lot of shelf space, probably in their view would not sell a huge amount. And so for a company, any company, I don't care the size of it, to get it out to folks, they have to essentially go the direct to consumer route. Now, could Hasbro just put it up for pre-order and get rid of the whole crowdsourcing thing? I guess. But I look at it as I don't really view Kickstarters as being much different than just a made to pre-order type thing. Kickstarters back in the day started out to be something that just small guys did to, and I will be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of Kickstarters, period. To me, a Kickstarter is kind of a lazy way. It's like, I want to bypass having to have a business plan. I want to bypass having to have an advertising budget. I want to bypass, having to actually do the legwork to get it out to retailers and stuff. I just want to throw it up on Kickstarter and then expect everyone to throw money towards it and back it. And so honestly, I've never been a huge fan of Kickstarters in general. I understand the small guy not having the resources, and this is a way to do it. But I feel like if you can't get the resources to get something made, maybe it shouldn't be made then. Again, going back to just business 101, you know, you go, you get the resources, and then you have it made, then you get it out to the retailer, and the retailer sells it, and hopefully you've done the research to know that there's enough people out there willing to buy it that it's going to sell and you're going to make a profit. Um, I always am skeptical about these counters with any kind of Kickstarter. You know, is it really, are the people really backing it really just individual people, or is it just, you know, friends of the guy doing the Kickstarter who are throwing their money in so that it gets it over the threshold so that they can get whatever extra money they can to get it? I don't know. Um, I'm not trying to, you know, there's probably some really good Kickstarters out there and such, but as far as a large, whether it's a large company or a small company, um, I don't really see a big difference. In the case of something like the Sentinel, a $400 large action figure, it's just you're not going to get a large retailer like a Target or a Walmart to sell it likely. And so if you want those made, then you've got to go the direct to consumer route. And you know, Hasbro's a business, big or small, businesses are there to make money. Okay, that's just the reality of it. So you know, obviously Hasbro's not going to do something that they're not going to be able to make money from. Okay, and I don't think that's an evil thing. And, you know, anyone expects that a company should just break even or not make a profit is stupid in my opinion. I'm sorry, but you just don't go into business unless you're going, you know, able to make turn a profit on whatever it is you're doing. So I don't think it's unreasonable that they have you know, a profit margin that they need to hit. And you know, and so the one thing about the Kickstarter with Hasbro is I feel very confident saying they have enough sales data in front of them that when they set a limit, you know, a price and a limit, a minimum number that they need to get, they're pretty confident that they are going to reach that. They just have enough sales data in front of them to say, we know this many people, you know, this, at least this many people are going to back this project because we have enough sales data to back that up to see that they've been willing to do that and spend the kind of money or what have you. So, you know, I've seen some people claim, well, the Kickstarter is going to 100% be go through regardless of how many people back it because they're not going to started making those production samples and then just put it into mothballs. And I agree with that sentiment. Um, but where I differ is I think it's because they know that they're going to get enough sales, and it's not that they're like trying to rip you off or pull a fast one on you or something like that. It's just that they are pretty confident going in that they're going to meet their minimum goals. Now, there's marketing to this. You know, when they sit there and say, well, you better get it now or you're never going to be able to get it. Well, yeah, they're trying to play on those fears that if you miss out, you know, you better get it now or you're going to miss out. And is that in you know, I go back to this perfect world. In a perfect world, should they do that? Maybe not, but we're not. And so I don't know. It's I don't think it's that big a deal. Let me put it that way. If if you can't afford a Sentinel, if you can't afford a $400 figure, and that's perfectly reasonable, or not even necessarily you can't afford it, you just don't feel like it's worth spending $400 on one action figure. I mean, that is a perfectly legitimate thing. You know, should I spend $400 on this, or should I spend $400 paying off some debt, or going on a vacation, or you know, whatever, you know. So if you just, for whatever reason, you decide that you don't want to spend $400 on one action figure, I think that's a completely honest, you know, legit thing. Um, and you shouldn't feel pressured into going and buying that $400 action figure. If you've decided you're not going to get it, then you know, you shouldn't let yourself get pressure. But I feel like that's on you to make that decision. You know, if you cave in and decide to get it because somebody said, well, if you don't get it now, you're not going to be able to get it. and you really shouldn't be getting it, or you've got better things you should be spending that money on. I feel like that's really more on you than the company that said, if you don't get it now, you're not going to be able to get it. So they're trying to boost their sales by, using those kind of, I guess you could call fear tactics. I've talked about, marketing, scarcity marketing, and how it's used all the time by companies where, this idea that if you can't get your hands on it, you're going to miss out. And so that motivates you to go get it. If you think you could go get a Sentinel at any time, at any point, there's probably a lot of those people who backed the Sentinel who would have waited and gotten it at a later date. So that's where the marketing aspect of these Kickstarters come in, I think. And like I said, is it great? No. But is it horrible? Is it like evil? I don't think so either. And I've rambled enough now. So Dan Young thought everyone was a sucker making bets on the Haslab opening weekend. I don't think he thought. I don't know. I don't think he thought people were suckers. There were times where I think they maybe got a little ahead of themselves. Again, I think day one they felt very, regardless of how they presented it or what have you. I think from day one they felt very strong. The likelihood was that it would be back, at least meet the minimum backers. I don't know if they had an idea it was going to get to 30,000 backers when all was said and done, but I don't think they were really ever that scared that it wouldn't have gotten to the minimum 14,000 or whatever the minimum was on Galactic. So many numbers going in my head, but you know what I mean. I don't think they were ever really scared that it wouldn't have gotten to that minimum number of backers. So when they act like, we're like checking the counter every day because, we want to see, I mean, they probably are checking it every day. But again, I think they are more confident than they appear to be when they start these things, that it's at least going to get the minimum backer. But that's marketing. I mean, Dan Young's a marketer. He works in marketing. That's his job. His job is to sell things. So he's going to go out there and do that. It's like a used car salesman. I mean, if you go talk to a used car salesman, you can expect that they're going to try and make you walk away with buying something. So that's what they're doing. Well, what about the fact that until this day and after all the videos and complaints, they did not come out with anything about the knee thing? Well, again, what are you expecting them to say? Oh yeah, we screwed up. I mean, and again, and I will tell you, and because I don't have my Sentinel in hand, I can't really speak to the knee problem that well because I really don't know how bad of a problem it is. But there are some people who maybe are making a bigger deal out of it than it really is. If all it really is just tightening a screw and it'll work fine. Let's be honest. Sometimes people like to complain just for the sake of complaining. So at this point, since I don't have the Sentinel in hand, I cannot sit here and say how legit or how big of a problem the knee issue is. So, but at this stage, I'm not really expecting Hasbro to come out and publicly speak about it. Because at this point, it's not like they can go back. They're not going to go back and change anything at this point. So what's done is done. They will probably take note if it is a real huge problem. I'm sure they will take note for the next time. But they're not going to come out and say, okay, you send your Sentinel back and we'll redesign it with ratchet joints. I mean, they're not going to do anything like that. So I don't really know what people are expecting them to come out and say, to be absolutely honest. And because I don't know about you all, but I don't really know how big of an issue this knee problem really is. I've certainly seen people talking about it, but I will say this: I've seen more people praising the Sentinel than I have seen them trashing it for the knee issue. So If we're just going by overall internet fan sentiment, it seems like people are far happier with the Sentinel than are dishappy or unhappy with it. And I've not seen anybody say, "I want to return my Sentinel. This knee problem is just outrageous, and I'm returning my Sentinel, and I'm contacting Hasbro, and I'm demanding that they take it back and give me my money back." I have not seen one person say that. So that's where I kind of like, okay, how big of a problem is the knee issue? And oh snap. Yeah, I got the same email. The October 1st for the Batman Year 2 figure is the last email I got from Target. So we'll see if they stick to that or if they delay it again. If I was a betting man, I wouldn't be surprised if next Friday I get another email saying it was delayed even further, but we'll see. Aaron says it's weird because the folks that are most angry were the ones who didn't purchase it. I honestly I don't know how true that is, but I will tell you there are people out there who are. I've seen this where they'll be like, when the campaign was still going, they were like, I hope it doesn't get backed because I can't get one, and I don't want anyone else to get one because I can't get one. And while I understand the frustration of not being able to get one, if you're sitting there saying, well, I hope nobody can get one because I can't get one, I mean, that's kind of telling them where you're kind of coming from. So if that's your mentality, then yeah, you're probably going to see this and try and make a big deal about it. And even if you don't have one, you know, so if you don't have a Hasbro, if you didn't get the Sentinel, then and you don't have it, then I mean, you're certainly welcome to speak your mind on it, but it's hard to kind of, how do you really know how big of a problem is if you don't have it? That's why, like, when I get mine and I see it's like this, if it were this huge issue, I'll talk about it. I have no problem. I'm sure somebody's going to sit there and say, "Oh, you're just defending Hasbro," and I'm not. I'm more, what I'm basically saying is I don't have mine, so I don't really know how big of a problem the knee issue is. But if I get mine and I find it to be a real issue, if I take my screwdriver and I tighten up the knee, and then 2 days later it's loose again, I'm gonna probably talk about it and say, yeah, this is actually a really big problem, and it's kind of ridiculous with a $350 action figure that we have these knees that won't stay tight and won't support the weight of the figure. But if I get it and my knees aren't loose, or if I get it and my knee is loose and I tighten it and then I don't have to worry about it, essentially have to worry about it again, then I'm not going to go and sit there and rant about it online and say, oh my God, this is the end of the world. How dare Hasbro do that? So that's why, I've seen what people say online, but sometimes you have to, I don't know. All right, I got a second box. Whoops. Hopefully nothing fragile in here. I don't think so, but this one's from a Big Bad Toy Store. This one actually just arrived today. I will definitely, when I get my Sentinel, whether it's a regular full-on review or whether it's a future live stream where we open it up and I take a look at it, I will definitely, I'll open, show you guys my Sentinel, and if there's problems with it, I'll be more than happy to talk to you guys about it and share my thoughts on it. So definitely, when it arrives, which God knows when. All right, so a couple different things in this box. So first of all, I got these on a whim. These are the Diamond Select Toy, essentially they're Comic-Con exclusive Tron figures, the translucent ones. So I had the Flynn figure back in the day, the original 3 3/4 inch Flynn that was translucent like this. I'm not sure if I still have it someplace. Might be packed away in a box somewhere. But I got these because, you know, just kind of nostalgia for the original figures. I like translucent figures. So I ended up getting these. I was a little disappointed in the packaging. A lot of times Diamond does a lot of cool packaging with their exclusives, so I felt like the packaging was a little bit of a letdown on these, but I like the translucent figures. So I ended up getting that one. It's more of a whim purchase. I have not gotten like any of the other Diamond Selectron figures, the regular ones. I've seen them at Walgreens. I hit 2 Walgreens yesterday looking to see if by some chance Nova had hit. No Marvel Legends at all at either of the Walgreens, but they did have those Tron figures, the regular ones. So I got the last member of the Snyder Justice League from McFarlane. Batman was the last one I was waiting on. So, and no, I probably will not be reviewing those. The reviews, they've been out for so long that I just don't see a point. But I got a display shelf over here with my my new McFarlane DC figures. So I've got Justice League, and I'm gonna put the Suicide Squad figures on there as well. And then this is one I've been waiting for the most. So this is the Diamond Select Toys Titanium Man. So I'm actually gonna open this one up, and we'll throw it on the review station, take a quick look at it. See, another top. I'm still waiting on Mezco's one. Yep, we all are. Who knows when that figure is going to get released? The Michael Keaton Mezco Batman figure. I don't get a lot of the Mezco figures, but that one I pre-ordered, so. Because I got the Superman, so I figured, you know, you got to get the Batman. The Christopher Reeve Superman, I got that one. Twisty ties. I don't know if you guys saw the Amazon exclusive Fortnite figure, the new Hasbro figure. Oh, they canceled yours? Are you talking about their exclusive or the regular version? I ordered all the Justice League Snyder Cut figures from Big Bad Toy Store, but I had to wait on Batman. He was on back order, I guess. Like I've already gotten all the others. I even got the Wonder Woman, which technically isn't part of the Justice League movie. They had released it for the Wonder Woman movie, but they didn't do a Wonder Woman for Justice League. So I went on and got that one as well, just to round out the team. It's pretty much the same outfit. Hold on, I gotta get my scissors. I hate these damn twisty ties. So, yeah, look at that bad boy. I've been waiting for this one ever since I got the Silver Centurion Iron Man figure. So, I'm going to go over here. Throw her up on the review station. flip over to the full. So, I like the unmasked head sculpt. I think that looks pretty good, but I'm going to display it with the helmeted head. It's a little bit, the paint looks a little bit glossy on the skin there. I don't know. Might just be the lighting, but focus in a little bit there. So I like the look of the face, but that paint just looks really glossy. But like I said, I'm gonna have my use the helmeted head. So I don't get a lot of the Marvel Select figures, but I do get a number of these ones that, you know, for bigger characters that I think actually will fit pretty good with you know, Marvel Legends. So the skirt piece here looks like is a little crooked. See if I can straighten that out. So sorry, he's actually so big it's hard to fit him on the, get him completely fit on the screen. But he's definitely got a good size to him. So this is the Marvel Select Silver Centurion Iron Man figure. So these are both Marvel Select figures, and you can see how Titanium Man just towers over Iron Man. So that is a nice size figure, and it's definitely pretty heavy there. And I love the Silver Centurion Iron Man. This one blows the Marvel Legend one out of the water. And just for additional comparison, so here's the classic Marvel Legend Iron Man figure. So not perfect scale, but I feel like, you know, you can make it work. You know, who knows when Hasbro might get around to giving us a titanium Marvel Legend figure. So, whoops. Just did a face plant there. So he's definitely very heavy. This is a very solid, heavy figure. So these joints here on the feet, well, they're not super loose at the moment. They feel like they could get loose over time. So this guy falling over might be an issue. But I love the look of it. The paint pops nicely, the green paint, the eyes. So articulation is pretty good overall. He really doesn't have an ab crunch, but you've got rotation there. You've got midsection rotation. You can get his arm out pretty good. Got rotation around. He's got the bicep swivel. He's also got rotation at the elbow. Only get the single hinged elbow. But, you know, a big bulky guy like this, yeah, I wouldn't expect to be super articulated anyway. Got the hinges on the hands. Now this is a rubber material, so, but you actually get the brakes over here, so you actually can do the splits pretty good. You can get the leg out, back. Most of the joints seem pretty tight. I am a little worried again about the feet joint. You get some ankle pivot, but I am a little worried that these are going to get loose, and so this figure is going to very easily fall over because of the weight and everything. But still, overall, I love the look of it. I'm going to display it with my Silver Centurion Iron Man figure on the shelf. Probably throw in my Marvel Select Taskmaster as well. This is another good figure that I really like. This is not a type of figure I normally get for Diamond Select, Marvel Select, but I really was impressed with their Taskmaster figure, so I ended up getting that one. So if you haven't picked that one up yet, my first impression is other than the ankle joints maybe being a little loose, it is a nice looking figure. If you've got the Silver Centurion Iron Man figure, then it definitely should display nice with that. Unfortunately, the ankle joint does not have a screw, so that trick's not going to work on him. Yeah, that Silver Centurion Iron Man is Marvel Select. I actually did a review of that one a couple months ago, so if you haven't checked that out, it's on my channel. Love that figure. Like I said, it blows the Marvel Legends Silver Centurion Iron Man out of the water. Uh, Hasbro kind of phoned that one in my opinion, the Walgreens exclusive one. So the Marvel Select one is if you're a fan of the Silver Centurion armor, the Marvel Select one is the way to go with that one. Have not heard any updates on shipping on Firefly or when it's going to go up for pre-order. I'm still, Destro. I forget when Destro is actually supposed to be released. I did not pre-order I pre-ordered Destro. I did not pre-order Roadblock. Um, Seemed like a decent figure, but honestly, I've got the new classified Roadblock, the Amazon exclusive one, is good enough for me. So I did not get the Roadblock figure, but I will get probably Firefly when it goes up for pre-order. Diamond Select Spider-Man animated series busts look great. Any news? I don't have any news on that. I'd have to check into that. I don't follow the busts and statues that closely, so I'd have to check on that for you. Thoughts on a Marvel Legends battle damage wave like the old Toy Biz Spider-Man? Would I like to see that? Maybe. Like, I wouldn't want to see a whole wave. Maybe if they mixed in some battle damage characters. The Three Jokers. Yeah, all right. So, yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. So, yesterday for Batman Day, McFarlane gave us our first look at those figures, which they say are going to be going up for pre-order sometime this week. They didn't say exactly when. I'll do some digging tomorrow and see if I can find out when they're going to go up for pre-order. But according to McFarlane, sometime next week. I assume all of them, but that is an assumption on my part. Meaning that I assume all of them will be going up for pre-order next week. But so Batman here, this is the Batman figure, which I like the symbol on the chat. I have not read this story, so just to be clear, I have not read the Three Joker storyline, so I don't know much about it. But I like the bat symbol, but he looks a little too bulky to me. I'm assuming that's in keeping with the artwork, but almost looks more like a Dark Knight Returns type Batman. And we got Batgirl. So I didn't get the first Batgirl that they did for the line, the DC Multiverse line from McFarlane. So I may end up getting this one. It looks pretty good. Hopefully it won't be too big like like it seemed like the first one was. And then we got this Red Hood, another Red Hood. Looks kind of cool with the red shirt. And then our three Jokers. So classic Joker. Let's see, how did they list these? Classic Joker, Joker, and Death in the Family Joker. So those look pretty cool. They should be sold individually. They're not like a 3-pack as far as I know of. We'd seen listings for these pop up overseas back in June, and they were individual listings. So I assume these are going to be sold separately. But kind of interesting. I probably the Death in the Family Joker to me out of these three looks the coolest. I mean, it's more Batman. You know, honestly, it's hard for me to get excited for more Batman figures from McFarlane, but overall, these look pretty good. Out of the out of these, probably the Batman itself is my least favorite. But I I'm waiting to see their Swamp Thing figure. They've got a mega fig for Swamp Thing that's supposed to be coming, so I'm hoping that's going to get revealed pretty soon. Um, because I think that could be a really incredible looking figure. You know, I don't know what version of Swamp Thing it's going to be based on, so we'll have to see. But that's one that we've seen listings for that I'm kind of holding out hope for that will be really cool. Well, they did that. Yeah, no guns. But I mean, come on, you've got some pistols laying around. So at least they gave you the grip hands so that, you can take a gun that you probably already have and give it to them. I have so many like weapon accessories sitting around from various figures and stuff over the years that when a figure doesn't, I mean, there's some like I would have liked to see like they announced that Suicide Squad box set that they're selling directly on the McFarlane Toy Shops site, and I feel like it would have been cool if they could have added like their signature weapons, instead of just like the sword that we got with the regular releases. Since it's not being sold directly at retail, I feel like that they probably could have gotten that in. So, that was probably one of my biggest disappointments with the Suicide Squad figures is, we didn't get like Bloodsport's signature rifle or a pistol and such for Peacemaker. So, but Bloodsport's rifle in the movie was very unique looking, so I don't have anything that would really work for that. But just a general pistol or such, I can find. See, complain about repaints, but yeah, it depends. Like, I agree with you that sometimes a repaint or a reissue is fine, especially if it's a main character. People, we got to remember that not everyone has been collecting for long periods of time, and they may have missed out on certain characters. It's going back to the Galactus. It's why the Silver Surfer didn't really upset me too much. Even though I have a Silver Surfer, I didn't need another one. But I understand that there are those who didn't get the Walgreens Silver Surfer, and you can't really have a Galactus without Surfer. So it didn't really bother me that much that they threw in another Surfer. So I certainly can understand that from time to time you want to refresh with main characters to get new people involved. If NECA releases again the Turtles, which I believe they're going to, because I know they had the box set with the Turtles in Disguise, but I remember them saying, Randy in an interview or something saying that they were going to be issuing them again after that box set. So, something like that where people who weren't able to get the Turtles the first time around or just new to the line or what have you. You can't collect a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line without having the Turtles, right? So I understand the need to get those out there, but it can be overdone at times as well. Um, you know, when I look at the He-Man line, and every time I go to Target and Walmart, all I ever see on the shelves are He-Man and Skeletor. While I understand that you want to make sure those two characters are easily available to everybody so that new people in the line can get those guys, it's very frustrating when you go out there and that's all you find is He-Man and Skeletor. Um, I feel like the Star Wars line, I really feel like the Star Wars Black Series line has become so stagnant with repaints and reissues. And there are new figures coming. I've seen listings for new figures. I've posted some rumor reports about some of the new figures that are coming. But I understand those who are frustrated with every time we get a live stream, it's like, oh well, we're doing new repaints of the Mandalorian, or we're reoffering these figures yet again with a different paint deco or different card back, different packaging. It just it definitely to me kind of kills the enthusiasm. My enthusiasm for Star Wars figures right now are at an all-time low. So I understand the need to do repaints and refresh main characters from time to time in a line, but at the same time, I feel like it can be way overdone. I also understand from the business aspect, the cost side of it, where you got to get your money out of those molds. So when you reissue using the same body or the same character in a different way, you're basically that's how they make their money. So I get that as well, but Dark Vader hobbies. Dark Vader's hobby. Sorry, I'm hearing Three Jokers release early to mid October month. I don't know. I have not seen. I mean, we'll find out this week when they go up for pre-order, but I haven't heard. It's possible. But I take any release date, especially in this day and age with all the backups with shipping and stuff, with a grain of salt, no matter what company it is, because very good possibility stuff will be delayed. So, I mean, even under best of times, I tend to take release dates in the toy industry with a grain of salt, but especially now with all the shipping delays and stuff. Oh, Luke, Leia, Han, Boba Fett, Mandalorian. I mean, to me, like I look at the Mandalorian series, and yes, we have gotten some of the other characters, but like the fact that we have not yet even seen their Boba Fett, any of their Boba Fett figures. They told us that Nomad Boba Fett is coming, but we haven't even seen it. Or there's just like there's the Dark Troopers coming, or the armored bots in the end of season 2. I mean, those are coming, but we haven't seen them. Luke Skywalker Jedi, which that's probably going to be very similar to his Return of the Jedi figure, but that one's coming, but we haven't seen it. So there are definitely new figures coming, but Hasbro's really kind of taking their time and announcing them or showing them or what have you. No, there is not. Uh, well, I mean, tomorrow is just a normal Monday. It's not even the first of the month, but there. So Tuesday for Marvel Legends, there's going to be retro figures going up for pre-order on Tuesday. I believe I haven't 100% confirmed this, but my assumption is it's going to be at least two of those Toy Biz figures that they showed off in the last live stream. Maybe all three. I don't know. I know there's some retro figures going up for pre-order this week. I'm making the assumption that it's going to be those Toy Biz figures that they showed off at the last live stream. I have not confirmed that, but there's not anything tomorrow, as far as I know of, being revealed. Normally they only do a Monday reveal. I mean, they do live streams periodically, but normally the Monday reveals are the first Monday of the month, and they didn't do one this month because Monday was a holiday. And they, I mean, they've been revealing so much stuff so much that, I don't think we've had any shortage of new reveals on the Marvel Legend front. I I haven't seen anything for another AOA wave. I won't say it's impossible. The next X-Men wave will not be AOA, but certainly, maybe down the road. Yeah, I mean, I knew you're right, and just taking the clone Django head sculpt and kind of making it a little rougher looking. I mean, the one I'm waiting for is Boba Fett in his new cleaned up armor. We saw the SH Figure Arts one, but I'm waiting for Hasbro to show theirs. Do I think since the Kenner Ghost went on sale, they'd uh, was there a first part of that question? I'm not sure I understand. I don't, as I remember it, and this was like earlier in the year, I think it was. He mentioned something about essentially, because they understand that there are people out there who missed out on the turtles the first time around, and obviously that's probably keeping them from really getting invested in the line. Because if you don't have the turtles, then you're not going to be interested in collecting the more obscure characters. So whether I'm sure they'll vary somewhat from the original releases, but whether they're neon green or what have you, I don't know. I think at one point they said, for those who missed out on April, like they're gonna make that available on their website, that 2-pack available on their website at some point. So yeah, I think they're definitely trying to make those some of those characters more available to folks who missed out on them. Which of the Hasbro HasCon October releases am I getting? I'm on the fence with the Star Wars Obi-Wan, but the only honestly not too many. The GI Joe Zartan I will probably get, and the Dave Filoni figure for Star Wars I probably will get. Um, that's probably it. Real the Marvel Legend ones did not really do much for me. That Venom animated series figure, I don't think I'm gonna get. And then, God, I can't even think of what the other one is off the top of my head. But I think the Zartan and the Dave Filoni Black Series figure are the only two that I'm gonna try and get out of those PulseCon exclusives. What's up, Dave? Do Star Wars figures still come with guns? Yes, they do. It's only as far as the gun thing goes, that's a Warner Brothers thing. As far as I or as I understand it, that's a Warner Brothers thing, which actually is not even really a new policy, but I guess they've been enforcing it more in recent times. So, but it's not that all guns have been banned from action figures. It's just for whatever. Well, I think we can guess why, but Warner Brothers has this policy about not doing guns with their their toys and action figures and stuff. Again, as I understand it, I I've not had Warner Brothers specifically tell me that, but I have had those that work in the industry who said that that has been a policy that Warner Brothers has, and again, actually a fairly long time policy, but I think it was like if people ignored it, Warner Brothers wasn't enforcing it. Maybe they are now. I don't know, but I think that's why you're not seeing guns with like DC figures and stuff. Oh, that's right. The Elvis that was the other one. The Elvis yeah, so that one doesn't really interest me at all either. So I will not be getting that one. I did get so I got the this past week I got the Excalibur set. I was able to get one of those. I was kind of on the fence about the Shield agents and the scroll, but I did get one of each. I didn't like army build them, but I did get one Shield 2-pack to go along with my Nick Fury figure, and then I went on and got a scroll figure as well. So I did get those off of the Pulse website this past week. And I might add, I didn't have to pay the $50 for the premium service. See, if we were going to rant about Hasbro and something, again, that premium service is definitely something I think is stupid, making people pay $50 to have early access to be able to buy their stuff. You'll never convince me that that is money worthwhile being spent. But I was able to get those. Now they did sell out, so you did have to basically be online at like around 2 o'clock when they went up on Pulse. But I was able to get those without too much of a problem. I was able to get the it was actually a pretty good week as far as pre-orders. So I was able to get the Mattel stuff, the PowerCon stuff as well. I got the PowerCon exclusives and went on and got those. And then I got the Sunman figure. I didn't get the Triclops. I wasn't interested in the Triclops. Those first appearance figures don't really interest me that much. So I have not gotten that. But I got the PowerCon exclusives and I got the Sunman figure, which I like the Sunman figure. I don't remember Sunman back in the day, but I think it looks pretty cool. So I went on and got that one. I'm not gonna, Jerry. I know what you're talking about. I don't think he's dead, so I'm not gonna go into detail because that's kind of spoilers. But I don't think he's gonna be dead. Though I thought that was kind of weird. Turtle Dave says the Sunman figure looks awesome. No, he's not. Yeah, that'll happen in the new episode that aired this past week. Speaking of shows that I would recommend you check out if you have stars, is the it's called Heels. It's a wrestling show. I've actually really been enjoying that one. Um, stars Mr. Green Arrow himself, but again, if you have the Stars Network, then I recommend you check out the show called Heels because that's been pretty good. Lord Vanguard really wanted the Grayskull Ghost and Pit Monster set, but failed to get it. So I was like, when they first announced those PowerCon exclusives for PowerCon, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to get those or even try and get them. But then when they put them up on Mattel Creations and like the Horde set with the Horde Trooper and stuff, even though I know they're gonna do like a regular Horde Trooper, I was like, oh man, I think I'm gonna, and the Fakor with the Fakor Battle Cat. So I wasn't originally gonna get those PowerCon exclusives, but then when they went and put them up on Creations, I was like, damn it, I guess I'll go on and get them. I and that was like I went for Sunman first, and then I went and got the others, and I didn't have any problems checking out or anything. So I mean, I was there right at when they went up, um, but I did. It's not like I had any issues with the website or anything, which is nice because that's in the past with Mattel. Definitely their website has had issues. Turtle Day says, I wonder what QC issues Galactus will have. Well, I mean, I don't know if it'll have any major issues, but it probably will not. There's not really anything like 100% perfect figure. But remember, if like you're truly bothered with with the Sentinel, and you had gotten the Galactus, Hasbro has this 30-day period where you can cancel your order. So you can actually cancel Galactus if you really feel like that's going to be a real problem. I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem. It might not be 100% perfect, but I I think Galactus will still be pretty decent. That's why, yeah, I got that. That's pretty much, they suckered me into that one because it's an add-on to the Castle Grayskull playset. So, like, I got the Battle Armor Battle Cat, which has got some add-on pieces to Grayskull, and so I decided to get that PowerCon one that has the add-ons as well. And of course, I do have, can't see it because it's over here, but I've got the Castle Grayskull. Not well. We've been talking Sentinel, but that's about it. It is getting on to be about 9 o'clock, so we probably will wrap it up. But I did want to leave you guys. I like to leave you guys with little tidbits of news that I haven't shared anywhere else, just as kind of a thank you for you guys tuning in and listening to me ramble. So I just wanted to let you guys know about another figure, not 100% confirmed by, not confirmed by Hasbro at all. So do treat this as rumor, but I've, from the unless Hasbro is putting out false information to throw people like me off, then I think it's a pretty good bet. I trust the source that I've seen this information from. So unless the source is getting false information deliberately, and I wouldn't put it past Hasbro to do something like that, but which is why I always stress that these are rumors; they could change and what have you. But as another comic book based figure for the Avengers wave that I've talked about with the U.S. Agent and Speedball figures, Blue Marvel is looks like it's going to be slated for that wave as well. Now I've never read any comics with that character. He's a more recent character, so I'm personally not super familiar with that one, but I definitely have seen a lot of people wanting Blue Marvel. So and again, I haven't reported that anywhere else, so you guys are hearing it first here. So that's your Marvel Legend tidbit of news. Again, rumor until Hasbro officially confirms it, but based on the information I've seen, looks like there's a pretty good chance that's coming next year. Yeah, I mean, I trust the source. So unless, like I said, Hasbro's deliberately throwing out false information to throw people like me off, then I think it's a pretty good bet. So thanks, man. I appreciate it. So yeah, so my birthday on Thursday, and when you get to be my age, celebrating birthdays is not as fun as it used to be. Um, I'm not going to give you my age, but I will tell you I'm in my 40s and I am much closer to the big 50 than than being 40. So I won't be 50 this year. I'll tell you that, but definitely I'm not looking forward to hitting 50. And I realized, I mean, when I was young, I thought, oh my God, 50 years old is so old. And again, I'm not turning 50 this year, but I'm getting pretty close. But I remember when I was young and, thinking somebody who's 50 years old is like super old. So I realized it's not that old and it's all about your frame of mind. But uh, you're getting warmer there, Dave. But but yeah, so I'm making a pact that again, I used to do the triathlons, which I kind of gotten away from, and I don't have any interest in going back and doing another Ironman triathlon. Which, if you're not familiar, it's you gotta bike a shit ton of miles, you've got to run a marathon, and you've got to swim over 2 miles. It's like the first one I did it as just like I did it. I set out to do it. It was something that was really difficult, and I just wanted to prove to myself that I could do it, and I did. And then I did 3 more after that. But I won't say it's fun to do. The sense of accomplishment when you complete it, you cross that finish line is awesome. But the actual doing it is not the funnest, at least for me. But I like to run. I do like to run. I run 3 miles, at least 3 miles with my dog on, 2 or 3 times a week. I did 7 miles this morning, which I haven't done in a while. But, and I live in an area where it doesn't matter where you go from my house, you're going to hit hills. So there's nowhere to run around here that's flat. So anytime I run around here, it's always like up and down hills and stuff, which is hard on the knees. Um, but I'm definitely going to try and get back in better shape. I definitely in the last couple years have, and it's less about the exercise for me and more about the diet. Like way too many late night meals and junk food and things like that. If I just ate more healthy, I do enough exercise that I probably would lose weight. Um, but I'm kind of as I'm going into my this birthday that I'm kind of setting this pack to try and get back into better shape. So hopefully I will be able to accomplish that. But um, yeah, and I got I'll wait to show it to you after it arrives. I've got a pretty cool birthday gift coming. It's not an action figure, but it is a toy of such. So um, maybe we'll talk about it and I'll show it to you guys next week. Um, but yeah, I think let's wrap it up here. As always, guys, really appreciate you guys tuning in. Maybe another slow news week this week. Again, I'm not expecting any huge major Marvel Legend reveals this week. Just I think those Toy Biz retro figures are going to be going up for pre-order on Tuesday. Might be something else. Yeah, I know it's retro, and I'm making the assumption it's those retro Toy Biz figures they showed off. So, um, but and we will be getting those better looks at those 3 Joker figures from McFarlane this week when they go up for pre-order. Who knows what else will end up getting announced this week? Um, but whatever it is, I'll be sure to update you guys here in a future news video. Like I said, I am going to do some reviews this week with like the Mosquito. Please check it out. If you haven't already, please check out my review I did last week of the Homelander figure, just so we can bump it up over 1,000. I always hate videos that are under 1,000 views. Um, and I threw in a little skit there, which it didn't come out as the skit didn't come out quite as good as I was hoping. And I never, what's funny to me, probably not funny to you guys, but anyway, check it out if you haven't already. And as always, guys, yeah, hopefully my Sentinel will get. It would be awesome if my Sentinel got here by Thursday for my birthday, but I'm not holding my breath on that. Um, but Blake, thank you, brother, for the donation, super chat donation. Always appreciated. And as always, guys, stay safe out there. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.